Welcome to Long Island Tea with your hosts, Kristen Jarnigan and Sharon Wyman from Discover Long Island, the region's official destination marketing and leadership organization. Tune in weekly to catch these Long Islanders spill the tea, dishing on the best from the destination, seasonal adventures, insider tips, mishaps, and more. Long Island Tea is brought to you by Long Island Wine Country, home to one of the top 10 wine regions in the United States. Just minutes from New York City, Long Island's wine region boasts over 30 vineyards growing award-winning varietals. For a complete list of vineyards, tasting rooms, and events across the region, head to liwines.com.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Long Island Tea with Kristen and Sharon. Hey, Sharon. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
You know what? I'm tired.
You had a long week.
We all did. You know what? I say that every week. I feel like I'm like, oh my God, it's been a long day. And then I'm like, it's been a long week. Oh, it's a long month. It's been a long year.
It's been a long year.
Turns out it's been a long year. But, you know, one of the bright spots, we were just kind of talking about this, one of the bright spots of this year is all of the pivoting that everyone has done. Mm-hmm. And I hate that word. It's so obnoxious now. Pivot. And I get it. Everyone hates pivot. But the reality is, you know, a year ago, we were a completely different organization. We were doing so much different stuff with our business. And now we get to do this podcast.
It's so fun.
And we get to do Long Island TV.
That's amazing.
And it's so fun. We're having a good time with the new normal that is our lives. And this podcast, I think, is definitely a bright point of 2020. So it's, you know, we're tired, but it's like also awesome. I mean, it's so fun.
It's exhausting, but amazing.
Yeah, it is great. And you know, the benefit is that we are sponsored by Long Island Wine Country. Thank God. Right? I mean, but today, the Long Island Wine Country has sent us a beautiful Chenin Blanc.
Chenin Blanc from Paumanok Vineyards. Mm-hmm. They have a beautiful tasting room that is actually made out of a renovated barn.
That is like the epitome of North Fork. I feel like everything on the North Fork is a renovated barn.
I know, but it's beautiful.
No, I love it. The tasting room
is gorgeous.
I love it. When when you first drive up to the North Fork, there's like that old-fashioned pickup truck with the American flag on it. It's just so cute and charming. So what do you think about it?
I think it's delicious.
It is good. And you know, I don't know how familiar you are with Chenin Blanc. Mm-hmm. I'm not.
I actually asked earlier. How do I pronounce it?
Chenin Blanc.
Chenin Blanc.
Chenin Blanc. But you know what? It's delicious. It's like a white table wine, and we're enjoying it thoroughly, I think. And it's exactly what we need on this Friday as we go into the weekend after a busy week. So, you know what I love? The Paumanok is gorgeous, and we want to thank them for doing this. The outdoor space, the manicured lawn, and all of that stuff. But this is definitely, the wine has gotten me in the mood to talk about what our theme of this week is. I think the thing I love maybe most in the world, other than my family, of course, my children, and I guess, you know, every mother has to say that, your children, we get it.
Right.
But other than wine is music.
Yeah. That's what's so awesome about this episode. I'm excited.
I love music. Music is like, to me, it's therapy.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but like that's the first thing I do when I walk in my house. Whether my children are jumping off the walls or quietly sitting on the couch, I walk in, I say, Alexa, play Billy Joel.
Oh, really?
It's fun.
Does Alexa listen to you? Because she does not listen to me. She pretends, she ignores me. I'm like,
me.
You're so rude.
I know.
Alexa, I see you.
She ever apologize to you?
No.
That's what's funny. When you're like,
did
Alexa,
she apologize to you?
Shut up. And then she's like, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Really? Yeah. First of all,
try it. It's fun. I have one in my office.
We're on a tangent. You have an Alexa in your office.
Yes.
I just learned that the other day because I was like, I would come into your office all the time. I'm going to come in all the time now and be like, Alexa, how old is... That's the number one thing I ask is how old are people on TV? Because
I know.
That's how you know you're getting old, is when you want to know how old everyone else is.
Right, because you got to compare yourself.
Alexa, how old is Billy Joel? No one knows.
Right.
Because we're in my office, not yours.
Right, not mine. But you know what? Nicole comes in and she'll ask like FAQs about Long Island.
Oh, really?
She tests it.
So one of the FAQs about Long Island is that, you know, you can't talk about, as a transplant, as you know, coming here, I've always loved Billy Joel. I think he's an icon, right? As are so many musicians from Long Island, to be honest, but you don't realize that until you live here. When I lived here, people are like, so, you know, Billy Joel, have you been to his concert yet? I'm like, no. I mean, I tried to go. I remember when Elton John and Billy Joel were touring, And I thought this is one of the reasons why I'm no longer married. I thought in my stocking I was going to get Elton John and Billy Joel concert tickets.
Right.
And my Ticketmaster envelope, you know what was in there?
The circus?
Close. Stars on Ice.
Yeah, similar.
Tickets.
Similar.
I'm like, nope.
Not Billy Joel.
That's not what I want to go see.
No.
I don't know who you think I am. Okay, I mean, I do love ice skating.
It's fun.
You know, the Olympics.
It's cute.
I mean, I don't actually ice skate.
Right.
Do you?
No.
No. But I mean, I like to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like all about Dancing with the Stars right now, and Johnny Weir is killing it. I love him. But no, I wanted Billy Joel and Elton John tickets, and I never got them. But when I moved here, it was like, what do you mean you live on Long Island?
And you've never seen Billy Joel?
Yeah. Have you seen him in concert?
Yeah.
Okay. Where have you seen him?
Oh, a couple times. I've seen him at Jones Beach Amphitheater, Northwell.
No way.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's it's kind of
Because
a given. You gotta
people
go.
will say, like, did you see him, in the barn, which is otherwise known as the Nassau Coliseum,
Right.
or at what is it? Is it MSG?
MSG.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Like he has a residency in Madison Square Garden. This is not an episode on Billy Joel, by the way. This is an episode on Long Island music.
Long Island music.
But if you're a Long Islander, just I don't know that a day goes by that people don't talk about Billy Joel.
Right.
And so, did you see him at the Coliseum or at MSG?
Did. At the Coliseum.
Yeah.
That was it. I've only seen him twice, but it was fun.
So I, as a transplant, I love Long Island so much. I want to be a native Long Islander. I want to feel like I'm part of the community. So a couple years ago, that's all I asked for Christmas is I wanted Billy Joel tickets.
Right.
And so I got them. It was a
Finally.
big deal. It was a big deal. It was like a picture frame, and I thought it was like a really pretty picture frame. And then you tear off the picture, and it was Billy Joel tickets, and I was like, oh God. And it was at MSG, which here on Long Island we know that's Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And I was so excited. And the cool thing about going to Madison Square Garden, if you're a Long Islander, is that you ride the Long Island Railroad.
Right.
And you end up in Madison Square Garden at Penn Station.
Right.
And you just like go up
Walk
the escalator.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just in Madison Square Garden, which is epic. You don't even go
I don't even
outside.
know. Yeah.
You don't leave the train. You're underground. Boom.
It's huge.
I saw Adele there too, by the way.
Oh.
It was amazing. So I was so excited. And then after the concert, which was epic, Tony Bennett was like the guest appearance. It was just, he like brought down the house.
Yeah.
You would think that he was, one of the most, like the top 10 artists of our time right now. I mean, he still isn't, he's an icon, but you would think he was like, I don't even know, like BKS. Is that, who's that top? The Korean band.
Me.
BTS.
BTS?
Right? Who, like
I
the
don't know.
Korean band? Like
Oh,
K-pop?
K-pop.
Or whoever. Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande.
Okay. Camila Cabello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. God, please help me.
I'm there. I'm with you.
Or whoever the pop people are today. You would think that he was one of those people because not an empty seat.
Right.
Packed, everyone dancing.
But I heard that was like his entire residency there. Every night.
Every
it was like that.
show. He's done
Yeah.
almost 100
Yeah.
shows there?
Yeah.
And so the cool part was, this is a true Long Island story, okay? I am leaving. I missed the train by like a minute. Like,
Yeah.
it's leaving and you're like, oh, God.
You're watching it go away.
Because the crowds.
Right.
That's
Right.
This is a Long Island. Normally you have to get in your car and drive or take an Uber. So it's still wonderful that we
Right.
have this train, and I love it. But you're like, you get to complain about missing the train. So I missed the train, and back then there used to be this really cool bar in the Penn Station called Tracks, which is like a super hidden dive bar.
Yeah.
Did you ever go there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
You're not
like,
a
of course.
Long Islander if you haven't gone to Tracks.
Tracks. I'm sad that it's not there
I
anymore.
know. They had the best Bloody Marys.
It was so divey, and I loved
know.
it. And you're kind of like when you miss the train, you're like,
It's all right.
I'm going to Tracks.
It's fine.
So it's meant to be.
Another round. We're
So
good.
I ran into some people that I knew
Right.
from Long Island, the Fleischmans, who are also in their own rights icons here. Love them. And I saw them. I'm like, oh my gosh, we just saw Billy Joel. It's so exciting. And I'll never forget Carrie Fleischman. She's so wonderful. And she's like, oh, was it your first time seeing him? I'm like, well, yeah. How about you? And she's like, it was my 40th.
I totally can see that.
It's a real Long Island conversation right there.
Absolutely.
Anytime Billy Joel plays anywhere, everyone from Long Island's there.
Yeah, definitely.
It never gets old.
I'm surprised you didn't run into anybody else.
I know. And it's so funny because now, of course, that I live here, I read the paper every day, as we know, and I'm like always. He is like, there's always stories about Billy Joel, and also all Long Island celebrities and musicians, to be honest. But it's like, oh, there's a piano on the curb that someone left out. Billy Joel's playing it on the side of the road. I'm like, what?
Right, randomly.
Yeah. And then there was a whole thing because one of his houses is in Oyster Bay, and there was a whole thing about helicopters. This is also a very Long Island story.
Right.
Whether or not you can have a helipad at your house anymore.
Oh.
Because a lot of Long Islanders helicopter to and from the city.
Right.
For their jobs.
Right.
This is the place we live. Like it's normal.
Like it's a normal thing to have a helipad.
Right. And they were like, there was a whole article about a moratorium on helipads in Oyster Bay, except Billy Joel.
Right. He's the exception.
He's grandfathered in.
Of course
They're like,
he is.
listen, you, Billy, whatever you need to do here.
You want that helipad? It's yours.
You do you. Everybody else, no.
Right.
And I'm in total agreement with that, by the way. Whatever Billy Joel wants to do. But, you know, what people don't realize, and what I didn't realize, how many other incredible musicians.
Pat Benatar?
Oh.
Love is a Battlefield?
My God.
Are you serious?
I still do the shoulder dance.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I dance with my shoulder. I swear to God. Kids these days on TikTok, they dance with their arms.
Yeah, everything.
This is like
The
when I
shoulder shrug.
really love a song,
Yeah.
it's the shoulder dance. Thanks to Pat Benatar. She taught me everything I know about dancing, which I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't credit her with that because it's not good. But she's amazing. Truly another icon. Who else?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Oh my
It's almost
gosh.
Christmas.
I know.
Stop it right now
Stop.
with Mariah Carey. I grew up like listening to her. She's so just again icon. And I know it's like overplayed. All I Want for Christmas, but it's also
not Christmas unless you hear that song
100%.
in Macy's.
If I don't hear All I Want for Christmas every single day, starting from the day after Thanksgiving until maybe a day even after Christmas, I'm bitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not Christmas.
It's not Christmas until you see that. or hear
And
that.
plus, I just love her. I think she's fabulous. She's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
You know who else is gorgeous?
Who?
Debbie Gibson.
Yes. Debbie Gibson.
I mean,
Have you seen her lately?
she. I know. Debbie, if you're listening, like whatever your secret is, you look more gorgeous. Have you seen Debbie Gibson, Maggie? Maggie's nodding yes. So I went and saw the mixtape tour
I know. So jealous.
recently because that is my genre.
Salt and pepper.
First of all, Salt and Pepper, amazing. They're not from Long Island, are they?
No, but if you know every single word to every single song, like going down.
Don't do it.
Don't
I've
tempt me.
I've had Chenin Blanc now
I know.
for like 2 glasses, and I'm gonna start singing "Push It," and that's not gonna go well for my career. You know what I'm saying? But Debbie Gibson, you know, the coolest thing is like Taylor Swift is like the big icon right now, right? And everybody, my kids love her. I love her. I've seen her in concert 2 or 3 times. I can't remember, but she's amazing. But you know, Debbie Gibson was the first. She was the teenage girl that wrote her own music back in a time when no one else did that.
Right.
And she's gorgeous. I wanted to. I think I probably did have the bow.
The teased
I
hair,
have a
the
floppy
crimped
bow
hair.
on right now. Actually, I'm still channeling Debbie Gibson.
2020.
25 years later. It's just, I think she's just a great spirit. Like every time I see her, we get to see her in interviews all the time here. She really, cherishes as herself being a Long Islander. What else?
No, my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite.
I'm scared.
LL Cool J.
Oh.
Born in Bayshore,
Oh.
raised in Queens, but
LL.
still-
LL.
my boy LL.
Don't call it a comeback.
Oh, I love it.
I say that all the time. Don't call it a comeback. Of course, another song I could sing every single song to, I Need Love.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me started right now, because you know what? We could be here.
We could be here all night.
Yeah, all night.
There's also Ashante.
Ashante, she's so cute, by the way.
She was really, for a little while there, she was Nassau County's ambassador.
Oh, I didn't know
pretty
that.
cool.
Who's the... I have so many questions about that.
I know. I'll tell you more later.
I feel like Maggie should be the Nassau County ambassador.
Ooh.
Why are we the Nassau County ambassador?
It was like a few years ago.
Okay, Ashanti, she's so cute.
She's
I saw
adorable.
an article or TV show about her recently. I don't know if Chris is in the room. He'll know this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bet if I were to guess who's Chris's favorite Long Island artist is, and we'll find out in a minute.
I'm going to go with Dee Snider.
Yes!
Yes.
We're not gonna take it. Oh my God. I remember being on the bus in like 5th grade and starting We're Not Gonna Take It.
It still is
And
like
everyone
that.
on the bus was like we were cool.
Right. Windows
The
open.
5th grade bus is driving through
I
the
love
neighborhood shouting, "We're not gonna take it." We were such rebels.
Everybody thought they were rebels.
Yeah. When you sing that song, you just feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that needs to be resurrected for 2020.
There's also Lou Reed.
But wait.
I know,
need to
we're
go back.
still on Dee Snider.
No. And we need to go back because I just came upon something.
What?
We're not going to take it 2020.
Okay. That could be our last episode.
We're not going to take it.
Incorporate
2020. All of the crap happening this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Dee Snider, Long Island. Like, we're not taking it anymore. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Sharon doesn't know where I'm going with this.
I know.
But I think
I do. I know where you're
I
going.
feel like I don't know why he needs to be. You know how like Phil Collins just became popular again in the top 10 because of some. I think that we are going to be the online viral thing that's going to make We're Not Going to Take It popular again. Top 10 Apple Tunes.
Okay. We're
iTunes.
on it.
I had to call it Apple Tunes, which lets you know. All right, go ahead. Who else?
Okay, we got
Lou Reed, you said?
Lou Reed. Do.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking?
Oh my God.
Come on.
It took me a minute to catch
Come on. I
No,
know I'm
I
a little
did.
off tune, but
No, that was good. Yeah, Lou. Okay, and there's somebody else too that I'm thinking of. There's so many musicians that are just from all over. But you know what else is not just musicians? But you mentioned one of the places to like experience music, and Jones Beach Theater.
I have a funny story about that one.
Oh, okay, tell.
Totally like 12 months pregnant with Braden. I went to go see a concert. And if anybody's been to Jones Beach Amphitheater, it's like shaped almost like a horseshoe, right? And I had a middle seat in the middle. It was like AA1.
Tell me you
But
did not
except it
like
goes
water break.
A to F, and then it starts again at A.
Okay.
And then AA1.
Oh.
Middle seat. I literally was not going to fit down that aisle.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to do.
Oh my gosh.
Wasn't going to fit. I was going to make the whole aisle get up and move so that my pregnant ass can...
Wait.
It was not happening.
So what'd you do?
They sat me in handicap.
Oh my God.
It was amazing.
Yeah, you got a better seat.
I got a better
You know what?
seat.
You should. How many months pregnant?
I was probably like 12 months.
Did you say 12 months pregnant?
That's how big I was.
I'm like, wait, did you say? I thought you said 12.
Yes, I did.
I know you feel that way. Only women that have gone through that process understand what it's like to be 12 months pregnant.
Oh my God, but it was really
And
the
you know
best
what?
seat.
You deserve that handicap spot, front
Escorted
row.
me right away and my guests with me.
So coming here, my daughters, there's a radio station here called BLI, and it is like the top hip hop. I don't know. No, it's not hip hop. It's like pop radio station.
Pop, yeah.
But they have this summer concert every year at Jones Beach called BLI Summer Jam. And of course, my daughters got to go, and we got to like meet. My oldest daughter got to meet the Jonas Brothers.
Oh
my God, so much street cred from a
Yeah.
mom's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything else I do, they think is annoying.
Right, but
Once a year.
they got to meet
Once
Nick
a year,
Jonas.
they get to go to BLI Summer Jam, and they're like, "You're cool."
Yeah, Mom,
Like,
you're amazing.
and it is cool. And so, but a funny story is one year we went, and the Backstreet Boys were headlining, and I was pumped, obviously,
Right.
for that.
Right.
So, and it's the most gorgeous setting. You're outside, and you're up. Even if you're in the nosebleeds,
Right.
If you're up top,
Nosebleeds is actually probably
it's
the best
actually
seat in the house.
because you got the water. You're looking over this incredible bay, and people are out there on boats, and it's so amazing. And all the kids were up dancing the whole time to all of the other artists, and then finally here comes Backstreet Boys. all the little kids sit down,
and all the moms
stand up, and we like knew the full dance moves. You're like, I mean, we were like fully. My kids are like, please sit down.
You lost your cred.
My cred was lost. Yeah.
God.
No. But I love that. Jones Beach Theater is just iconic. It's got to be on everyone's bucket list.
Yeah, definitely.
If you have not done it, no matter where you live in the world, you have to go to a concert at Jones Beach Theater. You have not lived until you've done it.
Yeah.
Also, the Paramount Theater, you talked about Nassau Coliseum.
The Paramount Theater is also amazing because you can buy general admission tickets and literally you can stand at the bottom of the stage and just rock out with them. Or you can get seats and be catered to by waitress, Yeah. It's amazing.
There's like the VIP. It's called
right.
Is it called the Founders?
The VIP Lounge?
The Founders Club
or something Founders Room.
The Founders Room.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to go there. Oh, you want to hear something? One of my favorite bands in the world, and of course, everyone's going to get like nauseated at this saying it, but I went to Arizona State, as you know. So the Arizona State...
Humble brag.
I know. I say it every time. Go Sun Devils. Is the Gin Blossoms. Gin Blossoms were my college band, right?
Right.
So I've seen them... I don't even know how many times. I would see them every weekend on Mill Avenue, and I actually played the tambourine on stage with them a couple times. That's a separate story.
A completely separate story. Completely separate bottle of wine.
But you know what I learned when I came here? We're getting Maggie need to tee up another one because if we're going to start talking about college,
Gin Blossoms, here we go.
So I'm here, and I'm like, I went to this great concert that the unions put on for their employees. It was awesome at one of these parks in Suffolk County. And I can't remember what it's called, like the summer. I'd have to look at it. It's on Mother's Day weekend. It's awesome. And there's like the Gin Blossoms are headlining it. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? That's my band. He lives here. The lead singer of the Gin Blossoms, my college band from Tempe, actually lives I want to say, in Great Neck.
Wow.
Doesn't
surprise me.
I don't know his name.
It doesn't surprise me.
Maggie, can you Google what the Gin Blossoms guy's name is, the lead singer? But he's been doing, in COVID, he's been doing live concerts on his yard.
Amazing. I love it.
I actually tuned into a couple.
Robin Wilson
from the Gin Blossoms. If you're listening, go Devils. In fact, I was insane. So I was in the audience of that concert, and I'm like doing the
Devil
forks
horns.
up. I'm like, go Devils. And he looked at me, and he was like, oh, yeah, he gets it. He knows. He gets me.
And that's when he invited you to play his tambourine?
And then he was like, security. I don't know what's happening there.
Oh, that's amazing.
But, music is just ingrained into Long Island. I mean, we have a ton of celebrities. Long Island is what I didn't know until I lived here, really, and you start listening and paying attention, is the incredible influence that we've had on so many different history, culture, music. And there's a great story about this alternative music station.
Right.
In fact, there's a documentary about it, and it's called Dare to Be Different. And I think it's on Showtime.
Showtime.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard about this before?
We were talking about it a little bit.
Yeah. And apparently, alternative music got its start pretty much here on Long Island from this rogue radio station.
Right.
And
a college radio station, was it? Or...
Yeah, I don't know. I have not seen the documentary yet.
I think it is. A lot of them were based off of college radio stations and introducing alternative rock, and that's where they grounded from.
Yeah, the Ramones, they sang about Rockaway Beach and all these cool places that we know of, and so Long Island is it's really incredible when you start to dig into it. And I was having lunch with someone today who was on the board of the Long Island Music Hall of Fame.
Right.
Who we have a very special guest.
Right,
coming
I'm excited for that.
I know, me too. He's going to be like, you know nothing about music. Please let me enlighten you about Long Island music, because Sharon and I are just we don't, we just know the basics. We just know our favorite artists from the 80s and shoulder dancing. He's going to tell us everything, which is really cool. I'm excited about talking to Ernie. But somebody else on the board was like, oh, I'm talking about this Long Island alternative music radio station. He goes, oh, you mean Larry the Duck?
I can't.
I don't know what you're saying.
What is Larry the Duck?
Larry the Duck was he was one of the DJs. So now I, just carve out Larry the Duck.
Right.
On one of our future episodes. I need to talk to this guy.
I know, but you know what? If he's listening, he's going to be like, girls.
He's going to be like, get it together. Also, Larry the Duck, I guarantee you, he's had a bottle of wine and done a radio show.
Oh, I'm sure. Plenty.
I mean, back in the 90s, come on.
Bottle of wine and...
Or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, he feels us. He would vibe with us.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really excited to introduce our guest that we're going to have, Ernie, who is he actually owns an ad agency here at EGC, who was instrumental in the rebrand of our organization when I first came here.
Yeah.
They came to the table, him and Nicole Rory, who is actually a great friend of ours, and when we were originally the Long Island Convention and Visitors Bureau and Sports Commission.
Say that 10 times fast.
Right. You were here
I know.
for 15 some years with that.
People used to think that the receptionist was a recording for the longest time.
It went on
she
forever.
would answer the phone. Thank you for calling the Long Island Convention and Visitors Bureau and Sports Commission.
Oh my God.
Forever.
And that's sad. We don't even have a convention center.
No, that's the funny part.
Why? So when we reached out to EGC, which is owned by Ernie and Nicole's the president, and we said, hey, we want to rebrand, and their team, helped us come up with Discover Long Island and our current logo, and they're amazing. And during that process, we learned that Ernie is also the chairman of the board for the Long Island Music Hall of Fame.
That's exciting.
Yeah, there is so much depth to Long Island musical history and and what we have to offer here. So joining us today is Ernie Canadeo, chairman of the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. And Ernie, we were also giving you an EGC group total cred earlier in the show for launching our brand, Discover Long Island.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
You and your team are an integral part of who we are today as an organization. So we're really thrilled to have you on the show today, and especially as one of our first guests.
Thank you very much. I'm proud to be here.
So Sharon and I, we're talking. The Long Island tea is all about we're spilling the tea, as I'm sure you know that phrase, of all the insider scoop. And we were talking about musicians because you can't talk about Long Island without music. And of course, Billy Joel, being the godfather of Long Island. But it's so funny because Sharon and I were going over all these different artists and who we loved and who we know is from Long Island music. And then we just went through your website of the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. And there were so many people that we had no idea were from Long Island. So Sharon and I were both swearing that Salt and Pepper was not from Long Island.
We were totally in agreement that they were not, but then we looked at your website and we saw that they were.
Are.
Salt and Pepper's here, and we're in effect, Ernie. Okay, and you have inducted them into the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. They
actually performed at one of our induction ceremonies, and they were fabulous.
Oh, and it makes me just
had a lot of fun.
Hurt in my heart that I did not live here yet. For that, because I'm just...
It hurts my heart that I wasn't invited to that.
Well, now we all know to follow the Long Island Music Hall of Fame so that we can all attend these incredible events and support this incredible organization. But, Sharon, we also forgot to mention Joan Jett.
Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, my God. Lou Reed. Flava Flav. Which is Public Enemy. I mean, I was looking through your website, and we thought we had pretty much... Also, Ernie, we decided that we're not going to take it is the theme of 2020.
That's great. I completely agree.
How has no one already thought of this, right?
Yeah.
But even like music industry icons like producer Clive Davis. I mean,
he was a music executive. He was an executive.
Yeah, he is an executive. I think he's a producer, right? No,
he was just quickly as an aside. I was in the record business in the late 70s into 1985, and I was at RCA, A&M, and Arista Records. Well, Clive was president of Arista, and I was in a room the size of a small office when Clive brought in Whitney Houston.
Oh my goodness!
In 1982 or 83, at 16 years old, and just put her up on a chair and she sang in front of about 8 of us, and just blew us away. But Clive Clive is probably the most renowned music executive in the country.
I mean, you don't know many of them as a household name, but he's definitely one that you do. And I'm sure people felt the same way when they saw Mariah Carey sing for the first time, too, Long Islander. And, we were talking earlier, too, about that Dare to Be Different alternative radio station that made
WLIR.
Yes, exactly. I heard Larry the Duck works at a bank.
He was there at that time. Larry's on our board.
Yep.
And he is working for a credit union on Long Island.
Yeah, yes. I heard he's the man. We got to get him. We got to talk to him.
And he's on Sirius.
Yes, that's right. He's got his own show on Sirius. Yeah, and really like the birthplace of, again, iconic people like the Ramones. Right?
Incredible. Incredible.
And the Stray Cats, Sharon. Look, hold on. I've got some other ones here that we just completely
Simon
failed
and
to mention.
Garfunkel?
Simon
Are
and
you kidding me?
But don't you ever read the paper? Like I always say read the paper. Paul Simon will be like, oh, impromptu fundraiser for the Montauk Lighthouse.
Right.
Paul Simon's there. I'm like, what? That's a Long Island thing. It doesn't happen just anywhere. Paul Simon pops up and does a show.
And to clarify, we include Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk counties.
Well, that's technically correct, Ernie, because
that's Long Island. Right,
as we know, as Long Islanders, Brooklyn and Queens. And this is how I guess we get Barbra Streisand on this list.
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond. Run DMC. Yeah, I mean, Tony Bennett.
Oh.
And again, not just a musician, but a true philanthropist, Harry Chapin, who started Long Island Cares. Long Island Cares, which is an incredible food bank here.
He started it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so, I mean, and Carole King, and just real quick, Blue Oyster Cult, Louis, and let's talk about jazz. Louis Armstrong. We also have the John Coltrane House here on Long Island.
Absolutely.
Have you been to the Jazz Loft in Stony Brook yet?
Yes, wonderful.
It's amazing.
Wonderful job out there.
And so, you have really been a leading force, and I didn't realize, thanks to your musical background, on making sure that Long Island musicians get recognized.
So that's what I was going to ask you, Ernie, was what was your inspiration to start forming the Long Island Music Hall of Fame? But I feel like you kind of answered it earlier a little bit, if you can go into that.
Sure. I mean, I didn't form it. I joined about 10 years ago.
Okay.
It was formed by Norm Pressman, who was an educator out at Stony Brook, and a guy named Rich, who wrote an article, Rich Lahamadou, who wrote an article about Long Island's music, and there should be a Hall of Fame on Long Island. And Norm happened to read it. They hooked up and formed the Hall of Fame in 2004.
I'm going to say, yeah, that's awesome.
And the first induction ceremony was in 2006 at the Patchogue Theater. Mm-hmm. And it was phenomenal. I was there. I mean, I actually wasn't in the organization at that point, but I'm a huge fan.
Right.
So I bought tickets and I went, and I was shocked. It was a who's who of the music business. I mean, obviously you had Billy Joel there, but there were just so many other people. It was just unreal. And that really catapulted the organization to being a real viable music organization. And it's important that, it's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. Yeah. Because if you look at who we've inducted classical composers, we've inducted great jazz artists, blues artists, hip-hop artists, rock, folk. Virtually every genre is represented, and it just shows how much talent there is. I really don't think there's another part of the country with such a diverse array of musical talent as Long Island.
I think you're right. And, being a transplant here, I'm always like, all these artists, but you don't realize that they're from here. And other people, Howard Stern, who is instrumental in a lot of these musicians' careers, and all the artists that vacation here, even, and have second homes here and on a regular basis. So what is it, do you think, Ernie, that makes Long Island such a pool of talent?
I think there's something in the water.
Something in the water. I love it.
Water.
Perfect. I love it, because that's what makes Long Island special, is when we embrace what is unique about us, right?
I really think it's the diversity of the area. I mean, it's a beautifully diverse culture here. And even if you look back in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, I mean, you had Guy Lombardo, who was out here. You had Louis Armstrong. You have John Coltrane. I mean, these are giants of jazz and giants of music, but totally different on Long Island. And I think what's great with the Long Island Music Hall of Fame is we're no longer a stepchild of New York City. I mean, it's very hard to compete with the music capital of the world. So even though we have all this talent, we were always in the shadow of New York City. This brought us out of the shadow of New York City. And even back in the 60s and the 70s, virtually every band, every rock band, every major artist in the 60s and 70s played Long Island. I mean, places like Westbury Music there, places like my father's place.
My father's place, that's on my list. The jazz loft, it's awesome.
Stony Brook University, had everyone there. Allman Brothers. I mean, it was ridiculous, So, and then all the bands, everyone, including me, had a band that played in their garage or down their basements, and we had clubs. So it was just an incredibly, incredibly vibrant community on Long Island.
What'd you play,
now
Ernie?
we're able to showcase guitar.
Guitar? That's awesome.
You play
I'm not
guitar?
that good.
You went there?
I scam my kids. I'm a guitarist.
That's so cool.
Well, and so it leads me to the next thing that, it's really remarkable, from jazz to, I mean, it was like Connie Stevens, and again, like really iconic artists, to rap, to everything you can think of. And when we look at the future, right, what is the future of Long Island music and entertainment? And, you always hear about Long Island. There's a Long Island musician right now on The Voice. We almost always have a final contestant on these kinds of reality shows. But really, one of the biggest emerging, venues is TikTok and YouTube. And we have a ton of, if you follow hashtag Long Island or Long Island Check on those things, the talent here is really incredible. So what do you see as the future of the music business?
I think that Long Island, part of our mission with the Music Hall of Fame is to support education. So we've distributed tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships. We award music educators. We've had concerts where high school bands and orchestras and choruses actually perform with some of our inductees. So a large part of what we do is helping the youth of Long Island who are interested in music excel.
Yeah. My daughter, my little daughter, we moved here. I thought the schools where I came from were really great until I moved to Long Island. And then I realized, whoa, these are actually really good schools, because Long Island really does prioritize arts and culture and extracurricular activities and clubs and those things. And I was trying to think, what's the electric orchestra that is so well known? Trans-Siberian Orchestra. My daughter and that had a guy he's from Long Island. He famous in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, came with an electric violin and played a whole, I'm crying in the audience. Like, this is in the audience so ridiculously amazing that this is like my sixth graders, orchestra concert. But the access, and I think because of our proximity to New York City, is really incredible here for the people that live here, and I think helps to breed a lot of that talent. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Well, and so the Long Island Hall of Fame is it's mobile, right? So how can people get in touch with that?
Right. So we actually built a 38-foot mobile museum a couple of years ago. It was designed by Kevin O'Callahan, who's on our board, who is one of the top designers, just creative geniuses in the world. And he created this museum that's interactive. It showcases memorabilia. It gives you a history of Long Island. We had it out, and it hasn't been out because events this year are on hold, and schools have been challenged. Mm-hmm. So it should be out again, hopefully in the spring, at schools, events, concerts, festivals, everywhere. We're really excited about it.
So we have Lily, our mobile visitor.
I know you do.
They should meet up on the road sometime.
They should. They should.
Is there any big surprise in the music industry that you can tell us about? Like, what is the biggest surprise that you have seen?
What are people most surprised about when you tell them about Long Island music?
Like for us, Salt and Pepper from Long Island. I mean, that was amazing.
They're surprised it's not only Billy Joel.
Right.
That's huge.
Everyone associates Long Island with Billy Joel, and look, he's enormous, he's phenomenal, but there's a lot more to music here than Billy Joel.
Yeah,
but we love him.
We love him. We love him. And a great quote from your website is Billy Joel said something like, Long Island sound isn't just about the water. It's not just,
Right.
And it's so true. We love him. But I mean, look, we just listed a litany of incredibly talented people.
Artists.
Yeah, and it's so great that you and the Long Island Music Hall of Fame and the board of directors that you represent come together to make sure that these people get the credit that they deserve and that they are connected with this incredible place that we call home. So how would you like people to get a hold of you? How can people get engaged?
Sure.
How can people get engaged?
We are on Facebook, very active on Facebook. We have a website, limusichallofFame.org, and it's always updated.
And you had a great virtual concert recently, right? You had a great virtual fundraiser.
We did. That was phenomenal. We supported healthcare heroes with the United Way. It was an hour and a half. I mean, we had thought we would fill a half hour, an hour. We had so much participation from our inductees that it ended up an hour and a half on News 12. And it was great.
Yeah.
It was absolutely great.
I saw it, and it was during a time when I think people, in the height of quarantine, when people really needed some uplifting and some, music is therapy for so many people. Totally. And it gets you through your best times and sometimes your worst times.
Yep, absolutely.
And so it was really a wonderful thing that you and Long Island Music Hall of Fame did with News 12. So thank you so much. And we'll put notes in there how people can get a hold of you and support your incredible organization. And thank you so much,
making
Ernie.
Sure
you
so awesome.
highlight Long Island's talent. And, when Sharon and I record our first album, we'll send you our
We'll send the demo.
We'll send the demo. Don't listen.
I have a good studio you could use also.
Don't listen to it. It's not going to be good.
Hey, it's going to be good.
Okay, well, if I'm on mute, it'll be good. But you don't want to hear me sing.
Sure,
That's for sure.
great.
No. But thank you so much, Ernie. You and the board. And I hope to talk to Larry the Duck soon. But let us know when you have new artists coming up and when you have new inductees, and we'll make sure we help spread the word.
Well, sounds great.
Thanks,
All right,
Ernie.
thank you.
Ernie.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Sharon, do you know what time it is?
It's
tea time. Okay, I feel like you should go first.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry,
okay.
real quick. The tea time is when we share the inside scoop of Long Island.
Or our scoop.
Yeah, it's the inside scoop. It could be about our lives. It could be about our work day.
We're spilling the tea.
We're spilling the tea.
Whether
Okay,
it be
all right.
work-related, personal related.
That's what tea time is. I'm sorry. I just had to feel like people need to know. Okay,
Sure.
go ahead.
So my tea time this week is I'm so excited because not only are we sipping our wine from Long Island wine country through our tumblers.
I love it. Our Discover Long Island tumblers, which
Right.
are
So
they're
adorable.
coveted. By the way, they're coveted. I have to hide them
I know.
in my house when people come over
I
because
know.
they want to like
I know.
they don't want to steal them, but they're like, oh my god,
Where'd you get that?
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Because you can get it. I'm like, no.
But you know what's so cool?
What?
We're sourcing our merch for the podcast.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. It may be a little teacup.
Yeah.
It may be a coffee mug.
I don't think we should have a teacup.
I know. I think it should be more like
You know what? If you're listening and you have some ideas,
oh,
what about that?
Ooh,
so
spill the tea.
so spill the tea with us on. We're gonna have on the episode details all the Instagram. What is it, Maggie?
Spill the tea at discoverlongisland.com.
Maggie says
All spelled out.
it's spill the tea at discoverlongisland.com.
Give us
or
some
we're on
ideas.
Instagram and we're on, I think, Twitter. I don't even know where we're
we're everywhere. Facebook, Twitter.
So
TikTok.
No, we're not on Facebook.
Oh,
No.
we're not on Facebook.
No. So this is already bad.
Okay. I thought you were talking about like Discover Long Island as a whole.
No,
Not
but
not the podcast.
The podcast, if you know what, I would really love to know what people would like as far as merch. If
Right.
Obviously Sharon and I are going to get our own merch. Like Kelly and Ryan have their
Right.
cups.
They say Kelly and Ryan
Yeah,
on it.
I have one.
Right. Oh, of course you do.
No, I sat front row on
I
Kelly and Ryan one
know.
time. It was the
That's so
coolest
cool.
thing ever. It was so
we
cool.
should get merch for
100%. I'm excited, and I don't know what we're gonna get yet. Like, what kind of clothes do you want? I feel like we need cute clothes.
Yeah, definitely. They
we
should
need
have
outfits.
spill the tea.
Spill
on
the
shirt.
tea.
I love it.
Yeah, the Long Island tea.
So what's your tea?
Oh, that's really good. That's a really good inside scoop because I didn't even know that we were doing that. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my tea time is really, I'm going to just go like a different route, more personal because it's election week,
Right.
stress level 10.
Everywhere.
But my tea time is that like I have this weird stance that I am insisting on voting on election day.
Right.
I'm going.
You're gonna go.
I'm going
on
to the
that day.
polls. I am going to the polls on election day. I'm going to go to like my little local place, and I feel like, because I want my vote to be
It's
counted.
important. Yeah.
I want it to be counted that day at 9 or 10 o'clock, whenever the polls close.
Right.
My vote is
Your
counted.
number is in there.
That's it. I don't want it. I don't want to like tally the votes later.
Right.
I
You
want
know it-
instant
it was there.
gratification. Instant, like Uber Eats. You know what I mean?
DoorDash.
I don't like waiting for 7 days to know if my vote was counted.
Right.
I'm like, boom.
Right.
I would rather wait all day.
Well, that's you should be proud because that's amazing.
Yeah, well, we're lucky to be Americans to be able to vote
Yeah.
and have our voice, and I'm excited about it. I mean, it's scary, but it's an exciting week. It's, we live in a great place, Long Island. We always talk about it. I would say Long Island's probably 50-50. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's hard to say, but you know what? The reality is that whatever happens, we are a great place to live, a great country. We live in right connected to the most amazing city in the whole world.
Oh, yeah.
New York City.
Yeah. Train ride away.
And so the tea time is great. So let's go into, you talked about your tea time was kind of about the teasers.
Right. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I
No,
mean,
I didn't even know
It
that.
was like a tea time and a teaser.
No,
So,
no, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's a teaser because I'm really excited about the merch
I
now.
know,
I
it's
can't
so
stop
cool.
thinking about it.
I know it's gonna be awesome.
I kind of want to go shopping. That's like shopping.
I know.
Spill the tea. Oh my God, I'm so excited about what to wear. So other teasers, we have Long Island TV as well.
I know. We just did the 7th episode.
I don't even know how. I think we should stop numbering the episodes.
I know,
by the way,
because then
I meant to say that. Like, I don't want to number the episodes anymore because.
But it was awesome.
It's
I watched it. It was so cool.
I love Long Island TV. It's so fun. If you like hearing about Long Island, you're probably gonna love watching about Long Island.
Right.
We go kind of in depth on the different downtowns. We just did one on fall colors. Full. And so we've got that coming up. Also, you can watch this podcast if you want to see me do the shoulder dance. Right. If you're listening,
if you want to look at the shoulder dance, it's fun. Or last week when I spilled the wine, it's fine. We made it quiet.
Listen,
but you could watch it.
You know what? So the one thing I want to say about this podcast is I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts lately,
right.
And I hope that people. Sometimes it's scary to pull back the curtain, right? And to let people in and know you a little bit more. And CEO and you're the director of administration, people are like, what? They think they know you, but maybe they're really getting to hear us.
I think so.
After a bottle of wine.
Sure, exactly.
Which is like the real us.
Real.
But you know what? Some of the podcasts I listen to, I'm like, I want to be their best friend.
I know. You want them to sit at your table, right?
I'm like, these ladies, I want to be their best friend.
Right.
I feel like we're friends.
Hopefully that people listening, they feel that about us.
If I had one goal from this podcast, I would want people to be friends. Like, those ladies at Discover Long Island, they're my friends.
Right.
I vibe with them.
I want to drink Long Island wine with them.
Yes, I want to drink Long Island wine with them, and I want to talk about, I want to go to the places they hang out. So, all right, well, I think we've got a lot of teasers coming up. We've got day trips for those people that on our discoverlongisland.com. You can get trip itineraries.
Right. And there are day trips. There's multiple day trips.
We have blogs that come out every single week that talk about, there was one this week, which I loved, that talked about farms. If you don't want to go all the way, if you want to all the way to the Norfolk or get stuck in traffic or whatever it is, if you want to go to a cute harvest farm, but something maybe in your neighborhood,
right,
or in a neighborhood you haven't explored yet, there's a whole list of them. They're inside. Speaking of tea,
inside scoop.
Yeah, that's the real tea is where you can avoid traffic and crowds and have a great harvest experience. So much great stuff going on here, Sharon. Another amazing show.
Absolutely. That was so much fun.
It was fun. Thank you so much. And if you have ideas on what you would like us to talk about or cover, if you have comments about what we've talked about, hopefully positive. I mean, we
keep it positive.
Also, we just no more negativity for 2020. We don't need any negative energy out there.
Long Island. We're not going to take it.
We're not going to take it. Maggie for the win.
For the win. For the
We're
big dub.
We're not going to take your negativity. So, as Courtney K would say, don't leave a message. I'm not going to check it. If it's negative.
Right.
I'm going to check it if it's positive, obviously. You can DM us on Instagram at Long Island Tea Podcast or
email us.
Yeah, or you can email us as well. It's all at spillthetea.com.
Spill the tea at discoverlongisland.com.
Cheat sheet. Anyway, so reach out to us. Let us know your thoughts. That's what we want to talk about, is what you want to hear. So we'll talk to you next week.
Have a good week.
Thanks for tuning in to Long Island Tea, brought to you by the Long Island Wine Country. Check out our full episode guide at discoverlongisland.com/tea and share your tea with us at Spill the Tea at discoverlongisland.com, including topic suggestions, local tips, and your LI stories. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Long Island Tea Podcast.